Hello, welcome to Fat Dad Creations. This is another one of my How Did You Get So Fat recipes. And this time I'm making something for my kids actually. So it's not quite as bad, but they like it quite a bit. So it's not exactly the healthiest thing either. It's peanut butter chocolate chip muffins. And let's get started. So start off, I have about 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I actually weigh this. It's 300 grams. I weigh it because I actually do half white flour and half oat flour when it's muffins for my kids. That way they get a little bit more fiber out of it. And in order to replace white flour with oat flour, you gotta do it by weight. So notice the oats are a lot more coarse than the white flour is. So they take up more space, so it's not going to be a match if you just do 2 cups and 2 cups. So it's actually 300 grams and 300 grams. Just gonna dump it in. I just keep rolled oats on hand. You never know when you could use them for oatmeal cookies. You could use it for oatmeal in general. Oat bars, granola, or as you can see, I use this mini food processor to chop it up into oat flour. So we have our 300 grams and 300 grams. And then for extra protein, nutrition, and yummy flavor, I like to use the peanut butter powder. And we're going to do 1 cup of that with our dry ingredients. Alright. I always do dry first and wet together second. It's pretty common. I don't even know the science of why. I just know that all the recipes I've seen call for that, so I go with it. Next, we're going to do 2 teaspoons of baking soda. We're going to do 2 tablespoons of baking powder. I almost forgot a little bit of salt. About half a teaspoon. It's always good. And then we'll just mix this together. Okay. Make a little well in the middle. Make it easier when it comes to mixing the ingredients. And now we're going to move on to the wet ingredients. So this is actually low-fat buttermilk. We're going to use 2.5 cups of that. Went a little over there, so there's going to be a little bit left in the bottom. I'm just screwing up right and left here because I actually meant to mix all my wet ingredients together first. It'll be alright. Still have some of our buttermilk here, some of it's in the bowl. If you do it, I'd recommend mixing all your wet ingredients together first. It'll be okay. It's not the end of the world. So make sure when you add the butter, if it's still hot, this is 2 sticks melted butter. Make sure you do a little bit at a time and blend it. So that way it doesn't just get clumpy and disgusting. still got a little bit clumpy and disgusting, but we'll be alright. Oh no. Butter concoction overboard. Anyway, so now we're going to add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And if you've ever watched any of my videos, none of this is ever perfect, so it is what it is. This is Fat Dad Creations. I'm no chef. I never went to cooking school. The only stuff I taught myself how to make for me or my kids, and I'm showing you how. Okay, we'll go ahead and do the eggs. Add that to the wet ingredients. Got some farm fresh ones here from a very nice lady my wife works with. Two. 3. And 4. 4 eggs. Might seem excessive, but with the oat flour, it's good to have plenty of binder to help make sure it all stays together. Really hope the disgusting noises my dog is making, licking up that butter that flew off onto the floor, doesn't get picked up on the camera, but if it does, I apologize. It's disgusting. I hate those noises. Drives me crazy. But it is what it is. And now I've also tainted my 1 cup measuring cup, so I'll have to go get a new one. So we'll have to do 2 halves. So we're going to do 1 cup brown sugar. It got packed way too hard in here. Let's actually wait and see if we have more brown sugar. Alright, and we're back. Had a little bit of technical difficulty there. And my kids got home from school, so I had to get them off the bus. So anyway, putting in brown sugar. We're going to do 1 cup of pressed brown sugar. Pressed is in pressed into the measuring cup. I had to heat it up a little bit with a damp towel over it because it's a little hard. But we got what we needed. That's what happens when you don't bake very often. All right. Add that to the wet stuff. And then we're going to add white sugar, 1 cup of that also. There's 1/2 cup and the other 1/2 cup. Trash overflow here. And alright. So that's all of our wet ingredients. 4 eggs, 2.5 cups buttermilk, 2 sticks of butter, 1 cup white sugar, 1 cup brown sugar. So mix this all together. Alright. And now we'll add the wet stuff to the dry stuff. What are you doing?
I'm trying to see what colors the eggs and then
Well, looky Lou, you can wait until after I'm done before you investigate the eggs.
But I think you might use 1.
I used 4 of them actually. Alright, yeah, really screwed up the whole mixing the butter with the cold here. I should have added a little bit of cold to the butter and blended it to bring the temperature down to temper it. Maybe you only did it with eggs. I don't know. Either way, you got a fun sticky mess here to deal with. Next time I'll probably leave the butter out of the wet stuff until the very end. When I get all the sugar mixed in and everything else. Then, when you slowly add the melted butter to that, it'll be too diluted to clump back together. If you stir it while you mix it. Learn from my mistakes. So the number one rules of parenting. And cooking if you're learning how to make things from my videos. Anyway. Also didn't get a big enough bowl, but I think we'll make it work. Really underestimated the amount I have here. Get this a little bit thicker and then it'll stir better without having to worry about losing all my wet ingredients sloshing over the top. There we go. Now we're starting to get a nice sludge. Smell that peanut butter in there. I love the smell of peanut butter. And it goes great with chocolate. I don't know too many people that don't like Reese's Cups or some other form of chocolate and peanut butter together. Alright, now we're nice and thick, so we can get a good stir going. That looks all mixed together. So now, my son's favorite part, the chocolate. These are semi-sweet chocolate chips. There's already enough sugar from the peanut butter and the actual sugar I added, so you don't need full-on milk chocolate chips. Half cup. We're actually going to do 2 cups of them. Because they like lots of chocolate chips. Alright, well, 2 cups is actually the whole bag, so that makes it easy. So 1 12-ounce bag. Alright, get it all tapped down in there so I can mix it better. I've already got my oven preheating to 400 degrees. I've had that going for a while. It's already preheated all the way. These don't have a ton of rise to them because of the oat flour and the peanut butter. They're still very fluffy and muffiny, but just a higher temp is fine. At least from my experience. Alright. Now I got all this mixed in there. We're gonna grab our baking tins. Spray them down. I don't use the cups. They're a waste of my time in my opinion. I'm not selling these at a bakery. I don't care if I use muffin cups or not. I typically don't, because you spray down the pan good enough. All you'll get is a little residue around the cup. They'll come out pretty good still. And just one run through the dishwasher and it's a-okay. No need to waste money or paper on muffin cups. when they're just for personal consumption, in my opinion. I'm gonna fill these about 3/4 full. I always have to adjust because it's such a big bowl. Kid just got home from school, so he's got some Victor noises in the background. He's got his mini trampoline in here. He likes jumping on after school. Get some of those wiggles out from all that sitting still he had to do. Hopefully there's actually going to be enough here for 18 of them. I can never remember how many this makes. So feel free to half the recipe if you don't want to quite make so many. My kids love muffins though, and my wife loves muffins. Everybody in this house loves muffins, so these 18 won't last long anyway. Some of these are a little too full. Spread the love a little bit. Oh, this one's way too full. Alright. A little bit more of that one. A little more of that one. Really doesn't matter that much. I distract myself with small tedious tasks that in the end won't have made a big difference. It's just the way it is. Alright. I like to go and tap them down so I can make sure there's not a giant air pocket. And I have weird sizes and shapes, too bad. They're all close enough. With a few, they're going to be a little bigger. A few will be a little smaller. They'll be alright. Anyway, so now just add these to the oven. Takes about 20 minutes for them to bake. Maybe a little bit less. It's our oven so hot. Keep an eye on them. And I will be back when they're done. Alright, welcome back to Fat Dad Creations. We've pulled these out of the oven. It's been about 18 minutes. This is my oldest son, Jericho. Since these are for my kids, thought I'd let him taste test it on camera. But first, go ahead and show you. Just go ahead and check if they're done. You use a toothpick or I use butter knife. Pull out. All that's on there is some melted chocolate. No batter or dough, anything, whatever you want to call it. So they're done. They're clean. Edges have a little nice brownness to them. I think they look good. I already checked them, obviously. I also wouldn't let him taste test one because they are done. If you don't want to use chocolate chips, first time I made these, I actually used M&Ms. Those went great too. It's whatever you want. Like I said, they're pretty tasty. I think so. Let's see what Jericho thinks. I'm going to take a bite and tell us how you think. So what's the verdict? Are they yummy?
Yeah, it was very yummy. I'll give it 10 out of 10.
Good job. All right. Well, I'm glad. There you have it. Tasty to me, and he definitely thinks it's tasty. You can have this one, buddy. I know you want it. And that'll do it for this week. or this video. These aren't exactly weekly. Just whenever I have a recipe I feel like making. But anyway, have fun. Try new things. Even if it doesn't turn out great, I'm still proud of you.